Hey, welcome back to Season 3 of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. Before we dive into the episode, today's conversation is brought to you by the Adoption Continuum community, our post adoption online support space just for adoptive parents. The adoption road doesn't end with placement, and whether you have a 2-year-old or a teenager, the continuum is where you'll find support, resources, expert insights, and people who get it. We're gearing up for our next launch, and if you don't want to miss out, hop on the waitlist. That way, you'll be the first to know when doors open. Just head to the link in our show notes to learn more. Now, welcome back to part 2 of our episode with Brianna and Shay, a vibrant Black same-sex couple from Charlotte, North Carolina, and proud RG Adoption Consulting clients. If you didn't listen to part 1, go tune into that episode and then come back here. But for a quick recap, Brianna and Shay opened up about what first sparked their desire to adopt, the financial and emotional barriers they had to navigate, how they found out about RG Adoption Consulting, and why visibility as a Black same-sex couple in adoption is so powerful, even when it comes with painful bias. Today we're going to hear about Brianna and Shay's actual adoption journey, the emotional ups and downs they've experienced so far, and maybe we have an exciting update for you at the end. So stay tuned, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
Not everything has been a beautiful, loving, supportive, rainbows and butterflies journey.
Right.
You've also faced major heartbreak with
Yeah.
not just one adoption situation, but 2 different matches, right? That
Yep.
fell through. One of which you actually traveled for, and the baby was even already born. So
Yeah.
it felt like a for sure thing. So you traveled, but yet it fell through. And you had 2 what I call fall throughs when you're matched with an adoption situation with an expectant mom who chose you, and then it didn't happen. What helped you to navigate those moments emotionally, and how did you make the choice to keep going after the second one for sure?
Yeah. I think the first time we matched was a family in Virginia, and we were on vacation. And during our vacation, we got the email with the situation, and we decided to present. We got selected while we were on vacation. And then on our way home, she went into labor. And so it was like, okay, guys, as soon as you guys get home from vacation, pack your bag and get going to Virginia. And so we drove down, met the parents, had really good conversation. Like it felt really good. But at the end of it, they decided to parent. And we were definitely surprised and we were hurt. But more than anything, is I'm 36 and Shay is 35, and the family, they were in their early 20s. And so we could see that this was not a decision that they took lightly. We could feel their emotions and how bad they felt that they were giving us this news that they changed their mind. And so I thought about being that age and having to make such a difficult decision, knowing that you're going to potentially break somebody else's heart, but also, feeling like this is the right decision for yourself. And so I think we were able to
we have a better, larger perspective, broader perspective from our age and our
Right.
experience.
Right.
To know how that impacted everybody, not just them immediately. We're glad that they made the best decision for themselves ultimately, And also we got hurt in the process. And so but everybody's vulnerable here. And people outside of the adoption process are even vulnerable during pregnancy. It's a vulnerable thing. Fertility is a vulnerable thing.
I love how you just worded that whole thing, because talk about intentional, and just the way you thought about it is beautiful, and that is adoption. And I love that you thought about it from their standpoint, and that you could see that it wasn't an easy decision for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also got hurt in the process, and
Right.
you used "and" instead of "but" in that in the way you described it. And I think that that's a beautiful way to look at it. Everybody knows, or they should know, that if you are going down this path of adoption, that this is a reality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a good amount of times.
Right.
And it's not something we want to happen for the family because we know that it hurts.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully it's done for the right reasons, and in the long run it's the best decision, which is the way
Right.
you're viewing it, which is beautiful. But
Yeah.
it, and it still hurts.
And it hurt.
Right.
Yeah, it
And
hurt.
then
Right.
the
It hurt.
second time it happened,
Yeah.
and
You're doing good.
Yeah, that was a little bit different than our first fall through. This fall through, we traveled a greater distance. We went to Utah, which is, quite the journey for us, but we got presented a situation with a mother who actually had a 6-month-old baby and just didn't feel like she had the means to care for her child. And so we talked through the situation and we were like, we're open to a 6-month-old, so let's do it. So we went out there and we spent time with her and her baby and spent really several hours. We went out to eat and had really good conversation and we felt pretty good about things. And so we were supposed to hear from her adoption consultant the next day at a certain time.
her
And so we
caseworker.
got the call. Yeah, her caseworker.
Mhm.
So we got the call and, we're thinking that she's going to say, okay, head on over to the apartment so that we can, sign paperwork. But instead she said that she was gone. And we were like, gone where? She's
To
like,
the
I don't
bathroom.
know. Right. She's like, I don't actually know. I called her. She said that her situation has changed and she's gone. She's not in the apartment. They're gone. And we were like, it's like one of those moments where you're like, I hear what you're saying, but it's not computing. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? So she's like, I'm so sorry if I get any updates, I'll definitely reach out to you guys, but she's not here. And we were like, well, we are okay. we're sitting in our Airbnb in Utah. And
all we're thinking is, again, really?
yeah, it's like, it's like, obviously in this journey, that this is a potential, like a fall through can happen to anybody. But we were like, okay, we had our fall through.
Yeah, you've done that.
We had our one. So this next one's it's gotta be. And
Right.
so to have that happen again, it really felt hurtful. And this felt different than the first time because the first time, as we told the parents, like, no, we know that you guys can do this. You guys are going to be excellent parents. Yes, you're young and it's scary, but you guys have the tools that you need to be successful.
Mhm.
And so we felt really good about that. And like, yes, like Shay said, yes, we're hurt, but you guys can do this and we believe in you. The second situation, we were sad for ourselves, but honestly and truly, we were more so concerned about the baby.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
having spent, the day with her mother, I was like, oh my goodness, this taking ourselves out of this baby. I just want this baby to be okay.
Yeah.
When we got there, the baby had a knot on her head because she'd fallen off the bed. And I was like, well, I was texting on the phone and I didn't see her and she fell off the bed and hit her head. So I was like, oh God. I was like, okay, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to lunch and
I asked you, I was like, hey, is there something babies get where it's like kind of like a sticky dandruff?
so it was cradle cap. So she had cradle cap. And I was like, oh gosh, bless her little heart. I know that's got to be uncomfortable for her. We were going out to lunch. We were taking them to lunch and her mom was like, do you feel strongly about me grabbing the car seat or can we just go? And I was like, no, you have got to grab the car seat.
I was like, that's not a feeling. That's one, it's a law.
Yeah.
And two, safety is always better than sorry when it comes to your children.
Yeah. So there were just little things that made us like, oh my goodness, I'm hurt. I'm frustrated and I'm sad. But more than anything, I'm just so concerned about this child and I just want this child to be okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came home and we talked to Rachel and we were like, Rachel, we're a little beat up. We're not saying that we want to stop this journey because we still so believe in what we're doing, but we're a little beat up.
Yeah, it was kind of like we were like, universe, if you want this to happen, we only have so much fight left in us, you know.
It's like, please, like we want to do this. And so, we have a really good relationship with Rachel. And so we just told her, we're like, listen, we're not saying that we want to stop. We're very much still invested in this. And so she was like, do you want to, like, how are you guys feeling? They're like, no, we want to stay the course. We still want to get situations. But we did tell her, we might have to tap you in because our meter for what's a good situation, what's a risky situation, it feels a little bit broken right now because we don't even know. So we're still, and she was amazing. So we would get situations and we're like, okay, these are the things that we've picked from this situation that feel like they could be red flags or, what are we being reasonable or are we just being overly cautious because we're feeling a little bit guarded with our feelings? Like, you tell us. And so that was another reason why we felt like RG, like we'd made the right decision in working with RG because we knew that we had somebody that is on our team that we could tag in to say, hey, give us some perspective, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And she fully did that for us. And it wasn't long term. It was just we needed like a period of time where we could like fully get back into this and know that we're making the right decision. It's like, you don't want to have a scarcity mindset and be like, well, what if we don't see anything for, 2 months? Then like maybe we should say yes to this situation, even though we feel X, Y, and Z, or looking at every situation and being like, this seems too risky. And it's like, is it risky or are we just being,
are you scared? Yeah.
and
Protected.
So that's definitely a plug for Rachel and a plug for RG and the resources that you guys give, because that absolutely, it helped us to be able to talk to Rachel and kind of suss things out and kind of get back onto the path, which we've done at this point. Yeah.
So Rachel is your consultant through RG Adoption Consulting, and that's who you're talking about. And you should always, if you're working with a consultant, bring your consultant in to help you vet situations. Are we perfect? No, as you can see, sometimes it looks and feels perfect, and it's not. Let me ask you a question about your community. Number one, are you happy you told as many people as you told early on? And did you bring them into each of these matches and then have to go back and tell them that it didn't work out?
So I think we have told the right amount of people because we haven't told everybody. We've told our close friends and family. So I feel like we've told the right amount of people.
Okay.
At the right times. And I do think that with both situations, we did not tell even the people that know that we're in this process. We didn't tell everybody that we had matched. A lot of what we've learned, and we've listened to your podcast, we've spoken to you, we've spoken to Rachel, and it is absolutely true to be cautiously optimistic. And so for us, at least, telling everybody is not us being cautiously optimistic because everybody, and they their intentions are good, but they want it so badly for us that when we experience that fall through, if we had told all of them initially, everybody would just be devastated. Everybody would be heartbroken. It's like we needed time to feel our own emotions. And at least for me, because, I work with cancer patients, a lot of my emotions, I will kind of put my emotions to the side to be able to help other people. And in this, I really needed to be able to process my emotions and how I felt about these fall throughs without having to worry about comforting somebody else. And so if you were to tell and this is just for us, if I had told all the people that are closest to me, oh my goodness, they would be devastated, which I understand, because if roles were reversed, I'd feel the same way.
Yeah.
But
that's such a great point. You needed to have that space for you and not worry about all the other people that you told. And
right. So, after the fact, we told people, and after we had time to kind of feel what we needed to feel, then we would plug in people and say, hey, we were matched with a mother in Utah but these are kind of, this is where we are now. This is what's happened.
Yeah.
And everybody has been like, okay. And
Yeah.
we had enough time to work through our feelings so that we can talk through it and not, burst into tears and feel all of this emotion. It's like, this happened. Yes, we're absolutely, we were upset. We still are a little hurt.
We processed it together.
Exactly.
We're good. Thank you. We're letting you know because thank you so much. You're supportive. Like,
Right. So that felt like the best way to do this for us.
Yeah. So after 2 really big letdowns, even knowing this is a hard reality in adoption, like we talked about bringing Rachel in to help you trust in another situation. But have you put parameters around anything else moving forward? Like, how do you know what to trust moving forward?
Good question.
That is a good question. I think we haven't put any parameters around our criteria. I think more than anything, what we have made peace with and what we feel strongly is that we're meant to parent, and the child that is meant for us is going to find their way to us. And so our journey looks different than we anticipated. There have been some bumps in the road, but we just have trust and faith that it's going to work out for us.
Yeah, and the only thing we're really limited by is our strength. And it's pretty inexhaustible. Well,
Yes.
I would say so. Yeah.
We have to fight for very long about it. And I don't think a child needs us before we would be weak. And you know what I mean? That I would say
I love that, to trust in the process and trust that a higher power has a plan for you, right?
That's the only
I'll share a story that's actually happening right now as we speak with it's a gay couple. One happens to be Black, one happens to be Filipino, and they have been matched. This is their second match also. A story very similar to yours, where traveling and all of that. And they have been in a long match, and it was looking like it was going to fall through again. And at the exact same time, that same agency had a baby born situation come in where mom was ready to sign right away. And she was part Filipino and all these other races. And she was open to this couple.
Yeah.
And it's all working out beautifully, where the one that they were matched with wasn't the right baby for them.
Right.
But the right baby for them is falling into place as we speak. And you just don't know the plan until it happens, but everybody ends up with the baby they're supposed to be parents to.
Yeah,
I've seen it so many times.
And I think that's what kind of keeps us in this journey.
Especially when this one was getting impatient.
I was
just like,
yeah.
I just think that we got too much love to give. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. That would be really selfish, and I don't think we believe in that type of a creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, after 2 fall throughs, do you only say only baby borns, or does it just have to feel right in your gut? Going back to that gut feeling,
just right in our gut. Yeah, we have not put any parameters. We haven't changed anything about what we're doing. We're just trying to be open as we can.
We have changed a lot, but we've been. Yes. That's the thing. That's the thing. We're being flexible.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
From the start, we started off with like the solid preferences, right? Like the unbudgeable. We thought. And then as the process kind of like tenderized us, then we were like,
well, maybe we can bend here.
The effects of drugs on the. I guess we're okay with that. If we learning from education, from.
I'm glad you brought that up.
For a lot of reasons, we opened our boundaries.
We did, because when we started, we were like, okay, we want
only African American. Then we went
a Black baby girl, no drug exposure, no alcohol exposure, no mental health. And I remember we talked to you and you were like, okay, your preference is your preference. I will say that, you might not get a ton of situations and you have to just be comfortable with that because this is such a specific. And we were like, at the time, we were like, okay, yeah, we're okay with that. And then time kind of went on and we started talking and, we had people that were maybe not open to same-sex couples and so that limits us too. And so we were talking and we're like, you know what? We already have barriers in place with being a non-traditional family. And so I think we might be limiting ourselves. And so we really, like Shay said, started educating ourselves and, listen to different podcasts. And you guys offer so many resources. So you've had interviews and podcasts with doctors that talked about mental health and talked about drug exposure. And so we listened to everything that we could to educate ourselves. And then we realized that we'd made that selection out of fear and ignorance. Honestly, we just didn't know. And so I would say to anybody that is listening, before you put this criteria in place, take the time to educate yourself because things aren't always as they seem. I would say that. Yeah.
Very well.
Thanks.
Thank you. I didn't even pay you to say all that. But I tell everybody when they come in, where you are starting is a starting point, and you just have to go in with an open heart and an open mind and continue to educate yourself. That at the very least, you have to commit to that because hearts and minds change all the time. And what you don't know, you don't know. But as you learn, perfect. I couldn't have said it better, you guys. So thank you for sending that message. What's been the hardest part of waiting, and how do you support each other through that?
I think so. Shay is a very patient person, extremely patient.
Yeah, to me, a missed opportunity is the wrong opportunity.
Right.
To me.
Amen.
Ultimately. Yeah.
Amen.
And I would say I'm a bit of a control freak. And I think that just comes from my job.
She zooms in on what she wants, right? And I'm like, oh, that's okay. It's going to come. But you can't make it like by zooming in on it. The clock ticks when it, you know what I'm saying? The cake is ready when the cake is ready, you know?
I think this is the one situation that I don't have control over. And so in school, I knew what I wanted to be to do in school. So I went to school and I applied myself and I got good grades. And then I knew the type of job that I wanted and I applied for that. Did everything that I needed to do to get that job. And in this, I've wanted it so badly, but there's only so much that you can do and it's out of your control. And so that has been the hardest part in the wait for me, is not being able to have control in this situation. Yeah. And so I have absolutely learned patience. And I thought that I knew patience. I did. But this brings out a whole nother level of patience and trusting the process. And I think Shay being so patient, and when I feel impatient, her, giving me perspective, like, hey, that situation, if we didn't match, then that means that wasn't the right baby for us. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that, but you're right. And it helps me gain perspective. And I think that's kind of one of the ways that Shay shows up for me, is like letting me get my feelings out and then being like, okay, well, you're thinking about it from this perspective. Maybe let's think about it from this perspective. And I'm always at the end of that conversation like, she was right. She was right. And this, was not our baby. This was not the right situation for us. So I think,
it always helps when one person is more patient than the other.
Yes.
If you're not both patient, at least one of you is. Yeah.
Balance. It's the balance. Yeah.
It is. It's a good balance.
Yeah. So where are you guys right now?
So we, being cautiously optimistic, we have matched with a mama that is in Florida, and she's due kind of mid-August. So we had our first Zoom call last week. Felt really good. It's her and her significant other, and they both were on the call. They asked really good questions. And so that felt good, really we could tell that they took the time to really look through our profile.
Okay.
And so we had a good initial conversation. Kind of next steps, we're waiting to hear from her caseworker on like her birth plan and what that looks like. Because we talked about it on our Zoom call, and she said that she'd like for us to be there when she delivers the baby.
Okay.
But we also know that as it gets closer, maybe she changes her mind, and so they're kind of working out the details. But yeah, so we will see.
Yes. Well, that is so exciting. Congratulations. And as we record this right now, we are towards the end or right at the end of June of 2025. So we're talking another month or two. And well, we wish you the best and hope for the best and hope
Yes,
that the third
thank
time
you.
is the charm and this is the cherry on top.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're definitely we're very hopeful. We're cautiously optimistic. We're hopeful. So we'll see.
I'm curious how working with RG Adoption Consulting has been the most helpful for you. I guess the way I'm most interested is, did you have an expectation coming in of how a consultant would be helpful for you? And was it different than what you expected or the same?
I would say it was better than I imagined.
Oh.
I thought that this would be more of somebody helping to keep us organized. And Rachel definitely helps to keep us organized and honest, but more than anything, more than that, she really is an advocate, and she really feels like a friend in this. Which is really important because, like I was saying earlier,
her wisdom, and yours. There's a lot of women, and I want to give you guys your flowers while you're here, while I can say it, while I can say it. Thank you so much for what you're doing for these children and for these mothers. Thank you.
Yeah, because it really has made a difference in this journey for us, and especially having faced 2 fall throughs and knowing that even though we're upset and we're hurting, that we have good support and we have all of this wisdom from you and from Rachel, has really made this, even though there have been bumps in the road, I honestly can say that I would not change anything about our journey. And I'm so appreciative of the help that we've received and the support and the knowledge. It has definitely far exceeded what I expected on this journey. I can say that honestly.
Wow. Thank you so much. And just to be clear, we don't work with birth moms. We don't work with the babies at all, but hopefully in preparing the hopeful adoptive parents and educating you and supporting you in the best way possible, we are helping to inform you to be the best parents you can in order to help these children and
you're doing
and the families.
Yeah.
You're making more children available to more mothers through education. That's for my
trickle down effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Awesome.
it's been a great experience, and I walk away from this. I was telling Shay, I was like, God, I'm excited to match and place, but I'm going to be a little sad that we're not going to,
Oh, don't you worry. We're not going anywhere.
And we feel that too. We feel
do.
that. Yeah.
We do.
Yep.
Well, not only do we do become friends with so many of our clients, but now we have the Adoption Continuum, which is a post-adoption community so that we can keep supporting you on the next part of your journey. So, you guys have just provided so many golden nuggets for hopeful adoptive parents. So thank you so much for sharing yourself. But before you go, we have some rapid fire questions that I'm going to throw out to you. You can choose how you want to answer, one or both of you. But first thing, is to give a shout out to one person or organization that has influenced your adoption journey or the work you are doing in adoption.
Listen, I mean, it sounds like I'm being cheesy, but I'm gonna absolutely plug Rachel and RG. I mean, I really, honestly and truly cannot say enough about the support and the education that we have received working with you guys. It's really impacted us. I think being a Black couple, being a same-sex couple, and navigating all of this, just the whole journey, and knowing that we have people that understand us, that see us, that value us, and we value them, has been, I mean, it's been amazing. So I would absolutely say RG for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you said person or organization, and I have, mine is cheesy as well. But I have to say you, because I would not be making this decision if it wasn't because of you.
Aw,
Little sweetie.
that was so sweet.
It's
What's
cheesy
one
too.
piece of advice that you would like to share with adoptive parents or hopeful adoptive parents?
I would say, educate yourself, and be open to changing your mind. You know, you might go into this thinking that your journey looks a certain way, but you've got to bend, not break, because this can be challenging. And so you've got to be fluid and kind of, go with the flow. So I would say educate yourself and be willing to bend when it makes sense for you to bend, because if you don't bend, you will absolutely break. And at the end of this, it's so worth it. It's worth it. You want a child. And so you got to see this thing through. Even when it gets hard, you have to bend.
What is one thing, and this is, you'll have to kind of go out on a limb here, but what's one thing you wish every adoptive parent knew before they brought their child home?
We hope to bring ours home soon, so I don't know what part of the timeline I'm in when I'm answering this question. How would just, I would say, I feel, again, I had to soften to everything in life in order to even be open to the process years ago, right? And so I already thought I was already soft, right, to make this to say yes. But since saying yes, and since our adoption process is our pregnancy, I guess, right? Until it happens, it's our pregnancy. It might not be 9 months, but it's our pregnancy. And so it's just the strategy of, it's the process. Tell yourself positive things, Remind us when it's difficult, when you feel, I think I'm softer because of how difficult it's been emotionally.
Yeah.
How much I've had to look inside of myself, right? How much I've had to believe, not just the process. We have to believe that we're worthy of raising children. You know what I'm saying? Because it's testing us. It's testing us. But everybody is telling us, but the process is testing us,
Love that. Describe adoption in 3 words, and I'll let you both answer that. Brianna?
From my perspective, I'll go ahead and rapid fire it.
All right, Shay.
Difficult, heart expanding, educating, informative. Yeah.
I would say transformative, expansive, and challenging, because it is a bit challenging.
Adoption is not just a destination. It's a journey filled with love, resilience, and growth. Wherever you are on this roadmap, trust in your path, stay open to learning, and always lead with your heart. You already have everything you need to create a beautiful story for your family. And when the road takes unexpected detours, I'm here to help you navigate every turn along the adoption roadmap. Brianna and Shay, good luck. Congratulations. We hope for good news. And thank you so much for being here and sharing your story today. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that episode of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. And before we go, we have a quick update on Brianna and Shay's adoption journey. Now, this episode was recorded at the end of June 2025, and we're releasing it in September. Since recording, Brianna and Shay adopted their baby girl in August. So we just want to take a moment to congratulate them and thank them again for sharing their story with us. And we are sending them so much love as they embark on this new chapter as a family.
All right, friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. What was your biggest takeaway today? If you found this conversation valuable, inspiring, or even just entertaining, I'd love for you to leave a 5-star rating and review. That's how more people find this show and how we spread education and support across the adoption community. Hit follow, leave a 5-star rating, and share this with someone who could use it. We drop a new episode every Wednesday morning. Catch you next time on the Adoption Roadmap podcast. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.